Happy holidays, everyone. This is gonna be a bit different from my usual stuff. I've always used art to supplement my content, but I've never actually made a video about my drawing process, or really talked about my art at all for that matter, and I'd like to start doing that. So I figured what better way to begin than with a Genshin Impact Christmas art challenge, because people seem to like the Genshin stuff. And by people, I mean me. So let's dive into it. I picked 9 of my favorite characters from the game and redesigned them with Christmas-themed outfits. We're starting with characters from Mondstadt and then moving through each region as they appear in Genshin Impact. I think it'll be fun to let you guess what character I'm drawing, so I won't spoil anything until it's already pretty obvious who it is. Although, I think the hair kinda gives her away, so for Mondstadt I picked Jean. It was between her and Amber because I really liked both their designs and their personalities. I ended up picking Jean because she's the head of the Knights of Favonius and gives me more authority vibes, so I felt like a Mrs. Claus outfit would work really well. And if you're wondering where all their visions are, let me stop you right there. It's Christmas time. Christmas is a time for peace. Nobody needs their visions because nobody's gonna be fighting. And also, I didn't know how to add them to the character designs. It's really too bad I had to cut so many characters from my roster. I wanted to do Amber, like I said, but also Bennett, Dia, Gaming, Raiden Shogun, even Ryothsley, and I haven't even done Fontaine yet. He just seems really cool, I love his design, and I adore the fact that he just punches people. Any character who just punches stuff immediately rises the ranks in my book. You got all these characters with their fancy pole arms and claymores and bows, and this guy just says, no thanks, I'm good. I'm just gonna hit them really hard. Now, I knew going into this I wanted at least one character to have the honk shoe pajamas. They're Christmas, right? Scrooge wears those pajamas in A Christmas Carol, so it's fitting enough, right? And who better to wear the honk shoe pajamas than Zhongli? He's just the right mix of proper and nerdy that he would unironically wear these and not realize why it's a little goofy. I'll give you a fun little teaser for this next one. It's my favorite character in the game. If you've seen any of my other Genshin videos, you probably know who this is. Now, I want to talk a little bit about my art process because I know it's typical artist talk, but I'm not very happy with how a lot of these turned out. I've been a traditional artist for most of my practicing years. The real tactile feel of a pencil on paper is so natural to me, and that's where I've done most of my practicing, so I find it a little hard to transfer over to digital art, even after, 4 or 5 years of drawing digitally. Also, it's Shenhe. I love Shenhe. We all know this. I don't need to ramble on. Although, miHoYo, it's been a year and 7 months. In Shenhe's last banner, I was not playing your game yet. Run her, please. I will give you so much money if you put Shenhe in a banner. Please do it. What was I talking about? Art stuff? Anyway, I'm sure part of my dissatisfaction is a lack of using references. Normally I take a picture in front of a mirror or find them online, but I keep gaslighting myself into thinking I don't need them. I've drawn so many characters at this point, I keep thinking I can draw them from memory, but then they turn out looking stiff and something's not quite right about them and I'm never happy with them, and really I just need to use references. Despite this drawing being pretty stiff, Ito in an elf costume is so good. I really think I nailed this one. So references is one part of it, but also I don't know what brushes to use. I use a pretty big canvas, 3840 by 2160, which is 4K resolution, but even on these drawings it was so hard to get detail because anytime I zoom in, the brush gets insanely pixelated, and I'm just using the regular pencil. It's already at like 0.5 of a pixel wide, so it is as small as I can possibly get it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it makes it really difficult to make good looking drawings when your brush is all pixelated like that. Maybe I just need to increase the canvas size to like 10,000 or something. I don't know if that's the real solution, but if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below because I would love to figure this out. It's one thing to be limited by your own skill and stubbornness, but it's another thing entirely for your drawing program to limit your art. Part of this is my own fault because I'm such a perfectionist, I can never just sketch it out on a page. I always have to go back and fix any line that doesn't look right, even if I'm just doing a super loose sketch. By the way, this is maybe my favorite drawing. Yoimiya in a reindeer onesie. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I'm me talking about how much I don't like my art and then fawning over this one. Fawn? Is that a deer? It's close enough. Good pun. Regardless, my perfectionism is not helping my art. I've been using this sketchy style for a while, and I've been thinking, now that I have more time on my hands, what with getting rid of my 2-week schedule, I could be inking them, which I actually think might solve a lot of my problems, and I can get really into the nitty-gritty with rendering. Like, I can make shadows look better and take more time with highlights, but in my normal storytime videos, I'm making so many drawings, I just can't afford the time. I have to leave everything black and white and leave it as sketchy as possible so I can just get them done. Okay, rant over. Long story short, art is hard, and I need to figure out how to use Clip Studio Paint. Now, you may be wondering, why did you make Kazuha a hockey player? All of Kazuha's abilities involve maple leaves, and as a Canadian, I see a maple leaf and I think hockey. So, because maple leaves are part of Kazuha's design, I decided to make hockey a part of his design. It's pretty simple. I don't think I actually need to explain it this much. You get it. It's already a running gag in the Genshin community that Kazuha is Canadian, so we'll just leave it there. All right, we've made it through Mondstadt, Liyue, and Inazuma, and we're on to Sumeru. Now, I'm only gonna draw one character from each of the following regions, like Sumeru, Fontaine, and Natlan, because I haven't even done Fontaine yet. But it's Christmas, you know, so I don't want anybody to feel left out, so I wanted at least one character from each region. I had so many outfit ideas for this character. I wanted them in a gingerbread costume, I wanted to dress them like a nutcracker, I wanted to put them in a present. Eventually I landed on a stocking because it's easy, and it's not that I regret it because it still looks cute, but could you imagine Nahida in a little gingerbread man outfit? That would be the most adorable thing. And I think it would have been more fun to draw. That way I could make the icing on top look like all the different symbols from Sumeru and do like the Dendro Vigil, and it would have been fun. I'm still like relatively happy with this one. However, I had no idea how to shade the stocking. I feel like I should be doing the multiply layer like a lot of people do, where you just shade the whole thing and then erase where the highlights are. But again, I'm stubborn, and for whatever reason, if it feels like the easier way, I'm just not gonna do it. Using a multiply layer would be more efficient, and it might even make the end result look better, but I refuse to use it because I don't know, it feels like cheating. Saying this out loud, I'm realizing I have this weird mental block when it comes to my artwork. Like, I know it would look better if I used a multiply layer. I know it would look better if I inked my drawings, if I increased the size of the canvas, if I bought some better brushes. And yet, I just stick with what I've always done because it feels comfortable. Trying something new is always scary, and I just need to get past that fear. That's really what it boils down to. Here's Nouvellette in a Victorian-era suit. A dapper outfit for a very dapper individual. Although he's my least favorite drawing of the bunch. I got the proportions all wrong, he looks stiff as a mannequin, and I'm not a big fan of the shading either. The costume looks alright though. If there's one thing I did well in this video, it's matching the outfits with the characters' personalities. Shen is a bit more quiet and reserved, so I gave her a big comfy sweater and a cup of hot chocolate. Yoimiya is loud, excitable, a bit silly, so I gave her the reindeer onesie to represent that. And now, our last drawing, a character from Natlan. I really like the speed paint feature of Clip Studio Paint. I've never tried a speed paint before, so I was really nervous when drawing these, and I think that might also be one of the reasons I'm not so happy with some of them. You know I had to draw the Pyro Archon for our last character. How do you pronounce her name? Mavuika? Mavuika? Again, haven't been to Natlan, so I don't know, but I saw her drip marketing and instantly fell in love with her character design. Hair is my favorite thing to draw, so when you get a character like this with big fiery locks, I just had a blast. All I know about her is she's the Pyro Archon and she drives a motorcycle, which means she's cool, and I guess I equated that to skiing. which in hindsight, it's not the same. And here's the finished product, all the characters together. As much as I complained about not liking some of the individual drawings, I'm actually very happy with the end result. Realistically, this was 60, 70 hours of work, so I'm glad I can look back and be proud of the finished product. I could see this on a Christmas card or something. They're all one big happy Genshin family. Well, there you have it. Let me know what you thought about their designs and if you enjoyed this style of video. I'd be happy to talk more about my process, my struggles, my successes, my influences, whatever you're interested in. So leave that down in the comments below, as well as any tips you can give me. A big thank you to my channel members for sticking around despite this video taking longer than I thought it would, and thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. I wish you the happiest of holidays, the merriest of Christmases, and the bestest New Year's.